Welcome to another YouTube video. Today we are training back and biceps, so it's going to be a pull day. Today is a Sunday as well, so basically I'm going to take you through a day in the life kind of a day. So we're starting off with seated rows, cable seated rows. I'm going to change the attachment and we'll get into our first set. So yeah, what I like to do is actually have a mix of variety of attachment in my pull days, for the sole reason, like, yeah, I could do a close grip, but I also want to do a mag grip, close grip on lat pull down, which is actually the second exercise. So I'm opting for this wide mag grip. I'm gonna pop this on. We are going to get into our first set. I'll go slightly heavier for this one, so I'm gonna go into 50 kilos and we will see how we get on with this. So set number one is officially finished. All I gotta say is respect the drip. Like, I got black and white Gymshark shorts that actually are really nice. I got this Gymshark half zip from the Black Friday sale, and I also have a Gymshark t-shirt underneath this, but it's currently fucking freezing in Ireland in all the gyms, so I'm not even gonna bother taking it off just yet. Next set, it's calling for 60 kilos, so I'm gonna try and get this for another 12 reps. We'll see how we get on with that. If anyone from Gymshark social media fucking hiring team is looking for athletes, please fucking hire me, because I spent $2.5 grand on Gymshark already so far. One thing I want to talk about when it comes to training back, like, especially when it comes to rows, like, and you're on your final set, which I'm going to get into shortly. When it comes to that, I'm going to try to do 70 kilos and see how we get on with that. Like, realistically, our first few reps are going to be relatively fast. However, when you're coming to the end, your reps are going to get uglier. And you just have to accept that not every set is going to be perfect. And you're going to actually see it in the next clip when I'm doing my final set. So you'll notice first 3 to 5 reps are going to be relatively good. And you start seeing that the reps get progressively harder. And in terms of building muscle, you need to maximize that as much as possible. So you can, like, I know there's been studies that you don't always have to train to failure, but like, you need to stimulate the muscle more and more each week with each session in terms of progressive overload, obviously. But saying that, like, if I'm doing 70 kilos for, let's say last week I done 8 reps, today I'm hoping to do 9. That's progressive overload. You're stimulating the muscle much more. And even when you add an extra set, like if I was to do a set 4, that's already progressive overload, because the volume is going up and you're doing more sets and reps week to week. So essentially that is where muscle is being built. But you need to ensure that, like, when it comes to certain reps, you need to fight for the rep and get the most out of it, if that makes sense. I hope you can actually see my head, because I know sometimes I underestimated with how high the camera is, but I hope you can see me properly here and you understand what I'm saying. But it's just about pushing yourself more and more each day and realizing that you need to reach true failure in order to maximize muscle growth as much as possible. And it's going to be the same whether you're trying to put on weight or you're trying to lose weight. Obviously, when you're trying to lose weight, you're on a calorie deficit. Your energy is going to be limited because you're under fueling your body when you're trying to lose fat. But saying that, you can still achieve some great results, especially if you're new to the gym. You have so much potential to put on as much muscle as possible, so it's best to maximize it. And I think the best time when you're starting out in the gym, get yourself a coach for the first 2 years, and you'll be surprised the amount of fucking progress you can really make. My pre-workout for today, actually, I've been 3 squares bars. I got 1 double chocolatey and 1 that was 1 double chocolatey and 2 caramel chocolate ones, so we are really carved up. However, first set, time to get going. There was a much tougher set now. The 2.5 kilos each side did make a big difference. I don't even know how many reps I got. I think I got 9. That's what I mean, extra volume. I'm already progressing. That means more muscle being built, especially with like the previous set being very close to failure, if not failure. So it's good to incorporate the extra volume into your workout sessions as well. Right, so we're on to rear delt flies now. So when I have a train pull or back, I like to hit my rear delt as well. So that's what we're doing. So first set went fairly smooth. What I see a lot of people do as well is whenever they're doing rear delt flies, they're going all the way back when there's no need. If anything, when you're going heavier on this machine, you can very easily hurt yourself. I was guilty of doing that myself when I first started my fitness journey. I was loading up the weight very heavily, and then next thing you know, I swung all the way back, felt something in my neck, and I couldn't fucking turn my neck for about a fucking week. So it's just very important about being careful on this machine as well, because look, I know you're meant to get full range of motion, but as far as your arms get perpendicular with your body, so like let's say all you need to do is just go about here. So if I stretch my arm, it's perpendicular, it's in a straight line with the rest of my body. Just keep a slight bend in your elbow. I just find that really good. But obviously sometimes it depends, like when you're getting close to failure and your elbow is extended, I do feel my triceps kind of coming into play, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, especially when you're trying to reach failure, but it's just something that you should be aware of whenever you're doing this particular movement. Yeah, we didn't get really much partials here, but that's okay. Back is done, rear delts are done, we'll move on to biceps. Right, so we have Bayesian curls up next. However, in this gym there's no specific way to do it 2 arms at a time. So I'm basically going to do is 1 arm at a time, which isn't bad. It's what I was forced to do last week as well. It's just going to take me twice as much time as I would hope for. So that's basically the only downside. However, look, anything that involves doing 1 side at a time is something I will most likely avoid doing, because how long it fucking takes. But I'm going to get into my first set. I think hands down the best bicep exercise of all time for me is going to be a dumbbell hammer curl no matter what. So we're going to get into it straight away. I done 12 for the 2 sets, and I'd be confident to say I'd get more than 12 on the next one, but for my left arm, because I think there's an imbalance there. But I'm going to go for 12.5 and see how that goes.
However, if it's going to be a shit set, I'm just going to do another one. And then again, it's a win-win because just more volume anyways. So I'll see how these go out as my final exercise of the day. Right, I am done with my pull session and my cardio session. We are currently in Lidl, as you can see, and we are going to pick up some steaks for later. I think the worst part of going to the shop, especially into Lidl, is the bakery section, because like once you get into the bakery section, you're like, should I get this, should I not? But I told myself I'm going to get steak and anything else that I really need, so I'm just going to get the steak here and now. I actually need bacon medallions as well. It is fucking lashing, oh my god, and I'm in fucking shorts as well. I'm a brave man to be fucking putting on shorts in like fucking November, but on the way home, I'll see you then. I'm home now. I am making myself porridge quickly. I'm gonna make myself some protein porridge. I'm heading to Limerick with my parents then. Toffee, shut up. I'm heading to Limerick then with my parent, and I'll see you afterwards. Right, so we have our steak here. I load on a load of ketchup there, but that's how the pieces are looking. Just how I like it. Fucking solid. So apart from the 3 squares bar, my protein oats, I had 3 off-brand Hunky Dories from Lidl, 3 Kinder balls, I think called, and then this, and that gives me a grand total of 2,480 calories and about 165 grams of protein. So that's my full day of eating. And if you want to see more of these videos, make sure to drop a like and drop me a subscribe as well. So see you in the next one.